Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this video, I'm going to present about all about Islam. And why did I choose this title? It's because there are many misunderstandings about Islam religion. Some say Islam is a terrorist. Some say even worse. But Islam is not a bad religion. The Bible said all of the rules that are good for you. Although it is hard for you to do at first, but it will make your body be healthier. And the purpose is to show you the things in Islam. But before I start, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Arfan Maulana, but you can call me Arfan. I am from RPLA class, and I study in Idean Boarding School, which is located in Jongbol. I am 15 years old, and I've been here for 5 months already. And then my hobby is doing sports like swimming and archery, volleyball, soccer, and many more. And then I also like to study languages. Right now I am studying the Japanese language and also the Arabic language, because Arabic language is an international language. So if I learn about Arabic language, I can talk to pretty much everybody. And for Japanese, it's because I like to watch Japanese and I like the culture. So I'm studying Japanese. And about my last education, I graduated from SMPN 170 that is located in North Jakarta, near my house. So my house is around North Jakarta. And my dream is to be the best person in the world. I mean, who doesn't want to be the best? Well, I want to be everything that I want to be. If I want to become a pilot, I can be it. Or if I want to become a teacher, well, I will study more and teach all of the different students in the world to become as a teacher. And my dream is also to become a Quran memorizer. That is all 30 juz in the Al-Quran. Because I want to give my parents, both of my parents, a crown in the afterlife later. So I can make my parents proud of me. So let's start with the basic thing, salat. Why must we do salat? I mean, why should we waste 5 minutes of our time just to do salat to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? This is the answer. Salat is used for us to be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our God, for everything He has given to us, and for us to worship Him. But what did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give to us? He did not give us anything. I didn't see anyone give anything this day. Well, actually, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you everything you need in this life. He has created our parents, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made our parents meet with each other, and then we born. We born with both of our arms, with eyes to see, our nose to breathe, our mouth to hear, to speak, ears to hear, and many more. He even gave us rain so that we are not dry. But if the rain is too much, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make summer season. So everything that Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala is given for us, and we must be grateful for it. Now I have a proposition for you to do salat. Inna salata kanat 'alal mu'minina kitaban mawqut, which means really, salat is the one thing that a Muslim has to do. So even though you're busy, just stop that activity and go to masjid and pray to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Now there are two types of salat. That is salat fardu and salat sunnah. Let's start with salat fardu. Salat fardu is a duty for all Muslims. It is important for us to do salat fardu 5 times a day, and it is the second duty in Islam. So the first one is to only worship Allah, and the second is salat. Salat is divided into 5 times. So in a day, you must do salat 5 times a day. And the times are subuh, zuhur, asha, maghrib, and the last isha. I will explain about the times when to do each one of the salat. So starting with subuh, the very first salat in a day in our life, subuh starts at 4 a.m. and ends at 5 a.m. But actually, subuh ends at when the sun is already above the orbit. So if you can already see the sun, then that is the end of salat subuh. And whoever wakes up to pray salat subuh, to pray subuh for Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, he will be granted so many rewards. But before that, there is salat sunnah. I will explain it later. And the second one is zuhur. Zuhur starts from 12 p.m. until 3 p.m. 3 in the morning. And salat zuhur is 4 rakaat. So after you do the second sujud, I will explain about the order later. You must go back up and repeat the same thing. And then the third one is Asha. Asha starts from 3 p.m., 3:30 p.m. until 6 p.m. And that is the time when the sun goes down and the night time comes. And it is also 4 rakaat. Next is Maghrib. Maghrib starts from 6 p.m. until 7 p.m. and it is 3 rakaat. The last is Isha. Isha starts from 7 p.m. until Subuh. Now there are 2 people which has their own religion theme. The first one says Isha starts from 7 p.m. until Subuh, that is 4 a.m. But some say Isha starts from 7 p.m. until half of the night, that is 12 a.m. in the morning. So there are 2 choices, but I am following my teacher's order. My teacher said Isha starts from 7 p.m. until Subuh, or at 4 a.m. in the morning. Now after Salat Fardu, there is also Salat Sunnah. Now you don't have to force yourself to do Salat Sunnah, because it is not a duty, it is not obligatory. So if you do Salat Sunnah, you can get more than what you deserve. And one of the example is duha. Duha is a salat that could make your price be more than what you deserve. And it starts from 8 a.m. until 11 a.m. Or after subuh, there is a time where you cannot salat. That is from 7 a.m. until 8 a.m. But after that time, that is 8 a.m. until before subuh, 11 a.m. You can pray duha for 2 rakaat, whether it's in the mosque or even at the house. Now, what should we do before doing salat or pray to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala? There are 2 things you have to do. The first one is make yourself clean. How do you make yourself clean? Well, you take a bath 2 times a day, and also you take a wudu. Now I will explain about wudu later in this presentation. The next one is the will to salat for Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. If you are going to pray to Allah, you must force yourself to have a will salat to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, because it is pure what you want. If you want to do salat, then that means you have a will to salat to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. But let's start with the will to salat. Here is an example of will. Now before praying subuh, each individual prayer has its own kind of will. And in Arab, this is an example of Arab. I will show you the order to make it easier for you to memorize it and use it before salat. The first one, you have to say usalli, and then you add fardu, because you are salat fardu, you are doing fardu prayer. And then you add the name of the salat, and you end with an I. So usalli fardu subuhi if you are praying subuh, but if you are praying zuhur, you must say usalli fardu zuhri. And remember, always ends with an I. And then you add the rakaat. For example, if you are doing subuh prayer, then you must say usalli fardu subhi rakaataini. That stands for 2. Rakaataini means 2 rakaat. After you add rakaat, you just add rakaatin and mustaqbilal qiblati, which means facing the qiblat. Adaan lillahi ta'ala. Lillahi ta'ala means for Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Now, as you can see here, you can add 2 things, makmuman and imaman. This is used if you are praying together with your friends or any other person. If you are becoming the imam, then you must say usalli fardu subhi rakaataini mustaqbilal qiblati adaan imaman, because you are an imam, and then lillahi ta'ala. But if you are the mu'min, then you must say usalli fardu subhi rakaataini mustaqbilal qiblati makmuman lillahi ta'ala. Now, I will show you the order of salat. After you will, the first thing you do is takbiratul ihram. So, you take both of your hands up until your ears, and then you put them together in your chest. And you don't have to hold You just have to hold until this end. So your right hand is at the top of your left hand, and holding this ankle. While doing this, you have to say Allahu Akbar, which means the Almighty Allah. After that, you have to recite Al-Fatihah, and that is important. So in every salah, you must start with Al-Fatihah, because it is an opening for everything. If you don't know how Surah Al-Fatihah goes, I will show it to you. It goes like this. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki yaumiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amin. And if you're imam, you say Amin as regular. But if you're makmum, you must say Amin loudly. After you say Amin, you have to recite one surah from the Quran. For example, like Surah An-Nas. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Qul a'udzu birabbin nas, malikin nas, ilahin nas, min syarril waswasil khannas, alladzi yuwaswisu fi sudurin nas, minal jinnati wan nas. So that is the first order. That is used when you are still standing up and holding your arms together. The next one is ruku. You put your hands up again until your ears, and then you put both of your hands into your knee. And the Prophet says you must ruku, and you must go down until your hand reaches your knee. And if a glass with a water in it is being put on top of your back, it will not fall. It is like your back is a table for the glass and the water. And after you do it, you have to say Subhana Rabbiyal Azim, which means you are my Lord. And you have to say it 3 times. So Subhana Rabbiyal Azim, Subhana Rabbiyal Azim, Subhana Rabbiyal Azim. The next one is Ittidal. After ruku, you go back up and you put your hands up until your ears, and you stand just like a normal person stands. While doing that, you have to say Sami Allahu liman hamidah, which means Allah hears you who praise God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then you have to recite one zikr. But usually the zikr is Rabbana lakal hamdu mil'us samawati wa mil'ul ardi wa mil'u ma syi'ta min syai'in ba'd. Then you have to do sujud. You go down until the ground, and you put your hands, your nose, your forehead, your knee, and also your finger foot down until it reaches the ground. And each part that I've just mentioned must face the Qibla. And while doing that, you have to say Allahu Akbar again. And then you say Subhana Rabbiyal A'la, which means Almighty God. And the same as ruku, you have to say it 3 times. After that, you sit between 2 sujud. So, you have to sit on top of your left feet, while your right feet and your right feet's finger foot goes to the Qibla, and say Allahu Akbar. Then you say Rabbi Firli, Warhamni, Wajburni, Warfa'ni, Warzukni, Wahdini, Wa'afini, Wa'fani, which means, oh my Lord, please forgive me, bless me, fix me, raise my degree, give me blessing, and also guide me. And the last is first tahiyatul and last tahiyatul. Now, I didn't put the Arabic text here because I can't find it on the internet. So I'm going to skip it to the next one. That is salam. You look to the right and then say Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah, and then you look to the left. Say the same thing, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Now that is all the orders of salat. After salat, you can do zikr. The very basic zikr, and the very first thing you have to do is say astaghfirullah for 3 times. Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. And then you can add La ilaha illallah wahdahu la syarika lah, lahul mulku wa lahul hamdu wa huwa ala kulli syai'in qadir. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, our prophet, whoever said this zikr 100 times a day, it is equal to releasing 100 slaves. And doing good things can make our pahala more and more bigger. And the more pahala we have, Allah will open the door to His Jannah. Next one is, you say Subhanallah for 33 times. And then you say Alhamdulillah. Then Allahu Akbar. And each one of it, you have to say 33 times. How do we count it for 33 times? You can use your finger joints to count. So you can use either your right finger joints or even your left finger. Now each finger has 3 joints. You can count each one of it until it reaches to the 33rd. Or you can even use a tool that has 33 objects. For example, there's like a background there. This person is using a tool that has 33 balls for you to count each zikr. And each ball is 33 objects. So you will not miss anything. Now the next is I'm going to explain about wudu. Before wudu, we can pray Nawaitu wudu'an liraf'il hadasil asghari fardu lillahi ta'ala. And after wudu, we can pray Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la syarika lah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Allahumma ij'alni minat tawabina waj'alni minal mutahhirin waj'alni min ibadikas shalihin. Now I'm going to explain to you the order of wudu. The first is you have to find clean water. Usually in mosque there is a lot of clean water, and the clean water is typically used for us to do wudu. So if we wudu in the mosque, the water will surely be clean. After that, you have to wash your hands 3 times. You just wash your hands regularly, but it is only until this joint. And then you have to wash your mouth 3 times. So you take the water into your arm and you put it in. Then you spit it out again, and you have to do it for for 3 times. After that, you have to wash your nose. You take with one of your fingers the water, and then you put your finger inside your nose and clean it as clean as possible. After that, you clean the outside of your nose using your both fingers. Then you have to wash your face. You take the water into your hand and wash your face. Rub it into your face, all around your face. Then you wash both hands. Now you don't have to wash from your finger until your elbow. You just have to wash your finger from your finger until this angle. So always start from the right. And while using your right hand and the water is spilling, you just add the water to your arm. You go from the back of your hand and from the fingertip. You go up until this joint, and then you do the same to the other side of your hand. And you have to do it 3 times. Then you go to the next part, that is your left hand. You just have to do the same part. Start from the back of your hand, your fingertip, until this joint. And you do the opposite to the other side of your hand. After that, you have to wash your hair and then your ears. You take the water and then you wash your hair and then put your index finger inside the hole of your ear and rub the back of your ear. Now the difference is you don't have to take a lot of water just to wash your hair. As long as your hand is wet, you can use it to wash your hair and then your ears. And the last one is wash your legs. You have to do it from your finger, foot, leg until the first ankle. Now I'm going to explain to you the things that invalidate wudu. Now wudu means you making yourself clean. That means there are things that could make you be unclean again. The first one is something came out from both holes. What I mean by both holes is your excretion in the down. Well, basically your anus and your thing. One of the example is if you puke and then you pee, you poo, and even fart. So if you do all 4 of this or one of them, you have to do wudu again because it makes you unclean. The next is lost consciousness. Lost consciousness is like when you're sleeping and you didn't hear anything while you were sleeping. So if you are sleeping and you didn't hear anything, and then you wake up or somebody wake you up, you have to take a wudu again. Now the next one I will tell you about fasting. Fasting is holding yourself from being angry at someone, holding yourself from eating something, and holding yourself from drinking. And there are times where you have to do fasting. The times is at Monday and Thursday, and then the Arafah fasting, and the obligatory one is the Ramadan fasting. So in this time, the first 3, the Arafah, Thursday and Monday fasting, it's a sunnah, so you don't have to force yourself to do it. but you can gain more pahala and be closer to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. But for the Ramadan fasting, you have to do it. Now fasting starts from subuh until maghrib, and during that time you have to hold yourself from eating, drinking, and being angry at someone. Now if you actually done one of them, then your fasting will be invalid. So you have to do so you actually did not do fasting at all. And then the benefit for us is all the good things we've done will be doubled. So for example, if you help a cat giving it some food, usually you will get 2 points, but because you are fasting, you can get 4 points. And as I mentioned earlier, if we do fasting, we can also be closer to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. And the more closer we get to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, then Allah will open the door to His Jannah. Now I will tell you about the Jannah. Jannah is heaven. It is the same as heaven, and it is the last destination of all living beings, because everything in this world will be destroyed. Either it's destroyed by meteor, earthquake, lava, tsunami. Everything is just destroyed. And this is where all the good people and all who worships Allah will go in the afterlife. He will go to heaven. And inside the heaven there are rivers filled with anything. If you want a river with a milk in it, you can have it. There's even a river with beer. The difference is, the beer in heaven doesn't make you drunk, so you are free to eat anytime. But the opposite is hell. Hell is a place where all sinners in the world gets punished, and it depends on how bad the person is. If the person has many sins, or even make a big sin that Allah cannot forgive, then he will be inside the hell for the rest of. And inside hell, all the bad things is released there. And in hell we are giants. Some even say 1/10 of a human being inside the hell is as big as a mountain. So, I'm going to explain to you about the Al-Quran. Al-Quran is the Bible in Islam, and is given from Allah by the Jibril angel. And Al-Quran is in Arab Kalamullah, which means the words of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. And it contains all the things that are forbidden for us to do, and the things that are allowed for us to do. And it is given to the last prophet, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, at Dua Hira. And Al-Quran is all of Islam's guide in life, because it contains everything about life. And it has 30 juz, 114 surah, and 6,666 ayat. Now Al-Quran starts from Al-Fatihah and ends at Surah An-Nas. Now, there are two places when the Quran is given. The first one is Mecca, and the second one is Madinah. How do we tell the difference? Well, Mecca is usually talking about bad things. For example, like you are forbidden to drink beer because it can make you drunk and make you do something horrible to other humans or other people. And the Madinah one, the Madinah is usually all about the good things. So for example, like you are allowed to eat something from underneath the ocean. And whoever memorized 30 juz of the Quran, then Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala will give your parents a crown in the afterlife or His Jannah. Well, I think that's all about my presentation for this video. I hope this helps you become a better Muslim. And I will end this video here by saying Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.